Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tia. Very thankful that you are here. Today I'm sitting on the floor because I felt like it. So I just want to dive right into today's topic, which was inspired by Milena Ciciotti's couple videos ago she did super recently. She filmed a video all about Sabbath and like what that looks like for her family as she was like prepping Sabbath dinner. And so it inspired me. My family has been practicing Sabbath now for about 3 years, and we have practiced it through seasons of early marriage, through pregnancy, through having kids, through moving, different things. And I feel like we've kind of gotten a good routine and rhythm down of what that looks like for this current season. And so today I will timestamp this video because it might get a little bit long, but I would like to talk about, first off, what Sabbath is and why we practice it. Those are kind of one and the same, but what it is, why we practice it, and then how we prep for it, and then what the actual day looks like for our family right now. So let's start with what is Sabbath. So honor the Sabbath day and keep it holy. That is the fourth of the 10 commandments. Now it is the commandment that is actually the longest. So a lot of the 10 commandments are do not murder, do not covet, do not commit adultery. They're all just simple commands, simple sentences. Well, the Sabbath, I want to read it to you actually, because it is significantly longer than all the rest, which should stand out as like there's a lot more details to this than just don't kill someone. So the 10 commandments are in Exodus 20. Verse 8 is where it starts the commandment talking about the Sabbath. It says, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter, your male servant or your female servant, or your livestock, or the sojourners," I don't know how to say that, "who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy." That's 4 verses just to talk about the commandment of the Sabbath. Now, growing up, I thought the Sabbath, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy, meant go to church on Sundays. That's kind of what I thought. It was one of those where it was like, in your head checkbox, like, do not commit adultery, do not do this, yep, honor the Sabbath day, yep, I go to church every week. And that's in my head what I thought it was. And once I got married and Trevor and I were like talking about things, we both kind of had that idea that like honor the Sabbath day and keep it holy. It's just like, yeah, Sabbath, Sunday, yep, keep it holy, go to church, regularly talk to God. Like it was just something that like we didn't fully comprehend everything that means. God made the entire world in 6 days, and then he took one day to take in the glory of it, the beauty of it, and sit there and rest. And we are called to do the same. The book Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer, that is one of my all-time favorite books that I've ever read. Specifically nonfiction. It's incredible. It is convicting, but yet so beautiful and refreshing, and a book that doesn't just like hit the surface of things, but he is guiding you through rest and just cultural norms and just the idea that like our culture values productivity. And I've even said that. I value productivity. I do. I enjoy getting things done. I enjoy having a checklist and marking things off and saying, wow, I accomplished a lot today. I am guilty of that too. And that's not a bad thing. But when that is like your idol, like you idolize getting things done and being busy. I have known people in my life who every single time you talk to them, how are you? I'm busy. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And I'm doing this. And you're like, cool. Like, what am I supposed to say to that? I specifically had a friend a couple years ago who I asked, I haven't seen you in a while. Like, let's get coffee or like hang out sometime soon. And they responded with a list of everything that they are currently doing in their life. And said they barely even have time to go get their own groceries. So they were in this season of life unable to see me and hang out. Nothing is but against this like specific friend, but that was kind of a turning point for me, for our friendship, because I was like, if your busyness is greater than a friendship, then we're not like true friends. Does that make sense? Like, if you are too busy to see someone that you care about, then do you really care about them? And I think if we value things and stuff and activities more than we value rest and family and relationships and love and things that just like God has blessed us with so much when it comes to family. And that's one of the reasons like I'm not teaching right now. If you've watched any of my videos, I've done a few videos on teaching. I was a 3rd grade elementary education teacher and I loved it, but at the same time, like I know that I wouldn't be able to be as present of a mom because that is a job that takes me from sun up to sundown, plus work in the evenings, plus work on the weekends. And when am I supposed to be with my husband and be with my kids and just dream with my husband and have family time and like do things with them and grow that relationship and grow my friendships and go to church and all those things if your work is consuming every part of you? And so that was a little bit of a long tangent there, but this book is absolutely amazing. I'll link it below. Like if you have never read this, like give it a shot, because it's not just like, hey, you're doing all these things wrong. Like, no, it is not that way at all. And that's the beauty of it, is like John Mark Comer, the author, is coming about it from such like a beautiful perspective of being like, here are the statistics. Like, I don't know them off the top of my head. And I think the book is at my husband's office, like in his church office, but there are so many statistics where they like looked at different cultures who work 7 days a week, like their work weeks are 7 days a week, versus those that have like 6-day work weeks. And they studied them over years and years and years. And the people who took the 1 day off of work to rest actually ended up living longer. And it came, or those that took like rest days ended up living longer. And it actually like, I might have this completely wrong or like kind of wrong, but it equaled the amount of time in their life if they were to take 1 day off. And like there's so many instances like that that's like, that's so cool. Like even people who are non-Christians like notice the benefit of having a day of rest. If you know that there's something that could benefit you, that could like give you joy, that could give you rest, that could give you more peace, that could help you live longer in the end, like why wouldn't you do it? And my husband and I reading this book, like it starts with all these statistics and goes into just the practicalities of like, we are called to rest. We are called to take a Sabbath. We are called to take a day to like look at all of God has done in our life and all the beauty and his glory. And also, sorry, I keep fidgeting. My leg is like half asleep right now. I need to reposition. That's what I get from sitting on the floor. And so it's like, why wouldn't you do that? And so when my husband and I first read this book, like 2020, I think, we were both like, we need to do that. And so our Sabbaths, just with my husband's job, being at the church and all these things, our Sabbath is Fridays. We really like Fridays, and we get Fridays, he gets Fridays and Saturdays off, but he works Sundays because we're at church. So Fridays are the perfect day for us. So Thursdays are like our prep day. Now he's at work all day Thursday. I'm home with the kids all day Thursday. And so it's like Thursday, me, but also Thursday evening, both of us. So our Thursdays I love because I anticipate Friday. It is our favorite day of the week. It is just a day that just rejuvenates unlike any other. And as soon as Friday's over, it's like, we have 1 more week until we can celebrate Sabbath again. And I think that like shows in itself how amazing it is if you look forward to it that much. You know, there's not many things in life where it's like, I can't wait for this day, but that's how I feel about Sabbath. And so Thursdays, my goal for Thursdays is to do as many things around the house as humanly possible to prep for my house being fully clean and shiny and no work needing to be done on our Sabbath on Friday. But again, it takes work because with 2 kids, with a dog, like I vacuum 1 to 2 times every day, but I'm still seeing clumps of my dog's hair on the ground. Like, so things aren't going to be perfect, but Fridays are the day that I do normal chores. I do a load of, or Thursdays, sorry. I do a load of laundry every day like I do Monday through Thursday. Like I make sure the bathroom's clean, all that. But on top of those things, I do the things that are, I keep saying the word things, it's kind of bugging me. I do the chores that I maybe don't do every single day. I maybe don't even do every week, but I go the extra mile Thursdays to really prep our home. My main goal is that by the time my husband is home from work around 4:45 or around 5 on Thursday nights, that he comes home and can see and feel a difference in the atmosphere of our home, in like the cleanliness. I catch up on all laundry. Like, I do as many loads as needed, and I do a load every day, as I've mentioned, but like sometimes Thursdays I'm like, we're gonna wash all the towels and we're gonna wash our sheets, and like I do that, and I get that washed, I get that dried, and I get that put away. I wipe surfaces down. I go the extra mile. I make sure that there's not clutter in spaces. If there are things we've been putting off, I do those. If the car is a little bit messy and needs a little vacuum during the kids' nap, I go out there and I vacuum. I will do the little baking soda essential oil little mixture in my sink at the end of the night to get that like extra shiny. We will go through, there are so many flies in here. I will go through our mail and to make sure that there's no mail on the counter, and just all the things where it's like, what can I do to prep my home? Because if you're anything like me, if you're a mom, if you're a homemaker, if you're a wife, like I would say most of the time, like the majority of the time, you are going to sense clutter around your house as kind of like a burden and a stress. For me, and I think this is a big deal for wives, like I don't want my rest day me to have all these distractions of like, okay, I'm trying not to rest, I'm trying not to do any work, but look at this, it is so cluttered, I'm staring at a pile of clothes, there are kids' toys all over the ground, the floor needs vacuuming, but I can't do it. And I don't want that, you know? And so I prep the home. I prep it as much as I can. I might rotate the kids' toys so they have some fresh toys on Sabbath. Like, it just depends on the week and what I've gotten accomplished during the week or what I haven't, but it is a day where I just go extra hard. Then after dinner, once my husband is home, we talk about and plan our next week out so that over the weekend we're on the same page with, one, what our weekend looks like, and two, what the following week looks like. If he has any extra meetings, if I have any like hangouts with other mom friends and their kids, if I'm going to my nightly or like my once a week evening workout with my friend, or if my husband is like staying late to teach a guitar lesson or whatever, we are on the same page. We're starting our Sabbath kind of like a fresh week almost. We're starting that and saying Fridays we get to enjoy, so let's do all the planning, nitty gritty, get on the same page stuff Thursday night so that our Sabbath we can wake up and rest. So that's what our planning day looks like and our prepping day. It takes a little bit more work, but it's worth it. So we wake up Friday and it's Sabbath. It is the best day of the week. A lot of times our kids will sleep in a little bit on Sabbath, which is really cool that they do that, but also that's not all the time. And also sleeping into a 1-year-old means like probably like 6:30, which like isn't sleeping in, but the other day she woke up at like 4:45. You heard that right, 4:45 in the morning. And so 6:30 is like sleeping in. We wake up at anywhere between 5 and 6:30 most days. And so a 6:30 wake up for my daughter or a 6:45 is sleeping in. But we let our kids sleep as late as they want. And usually we make some type, or I make some type of fun breakfast. For a while we were like, my coffee cake that I make is so good, let's make that our Sabbath tradition, that every morning, like one of the first things I do is like, and that just like, you can see the joy on my face because cooking for my family and having like a really fun breakfast to like wake my family to wake up to like warms my heart like nothing else. And so I love going extra on our Sabbath. So we used to be like coffee cake every week, and we got like 3 weeks in a row and we were both like, are you kind of sick of this? Because I'm kind of sick of this. Because it would make enough to where we would eat it Sabbath, and then we'd eat it Saturday morning, and then we'd eat it Sunday morning. So then by the time Sabbath came around, we got like 4 more days of no coffee cake before we got 3 more days of coffee cake. So we were both a little bit like, maybe just every once in a while, like let's just make it something special. So sometimes I'll do a homemade quiche and we'll have sausages or we'll have bacon on the side. Like we go extra. We don't have sausages and bacon and quiche every single morning, but I might make quiche and some homemade muffins. I might make cinnamon rolls and we have scrambled eggs on the side. Like just something that is so fun and special, because most days throughout the week I'm not making quiche as just like a regular breakfast, because it does take a couple of hours from start to finish. But again, like it's Sabbath. It's our day to just enjoy and bask in the beauty of life and in the Lord. And so on our Sabbath, our main goal is to do things that rejuvenate us. It is a day that we spend extra time reading. It is a day where in this season with little kids, we like to get out of the house. If we are home and they're just playing and messing up the playroom and all of that like they do on a day-to-day basis, like it's not as relaxing for us. Versus if we're in the car, we love going to Duluth's Best Bread because they have some really good croissants. So Trevor and I both get a fun drink on Sabbath. I usually get a pink drink from Starbucks and he usually gets a coffee from Dream Cloud. And we get Duluth's Best Bread croissants and we go to a pretty drive and we might read, we might explore a new town, we might go to the zoo. Like we do things with the kids, and sometimes that means they nap in the car and we go to a lookout and we both just read and just like sit in the quiet. It might mean that like we go out in the morning and then we come back for naps, and then while they're napping we sit here and we like read books and do things like that. So there's no set like on Sabbath we do this, 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 and this. But there are things we don't do. So we don't do laundry. I try to not do laundry all weekend, but specifically not on Sabbath. Again, I prep during the week. I do a load a day. I do extra loads Thursday if needed to prepare so that by the time Sabbath comes, there is no laundry to be done. We do not need to do it. We do general pickup. At the end of the day, I will still pick up the kids' toys because I just personally like looking at their room right now. They just went down for naps, so I started filming this and I haven't picked up their playroom yet. I pick it up during nap time and then at the end of the night. And looking at that right now, I'm like, man, that's stressful because there's toys everywhere. And so I do that, as well as we do the dishes, because dishes, we already have enough flies in our house right now that I don't need dirty ketchup and sitting on plates in the sink. We don't have a dishwasher, otherwise we would do that. Those are two things we do, but the rest of the things, like we watch shows, we watch movies, we read, we go out and explore, we eat good food. We usually like try out a new pizza place for dinner. Like we just rest and bask. And we do things that are bringing us closer to the Lord. We're doing things that make us as a family closer. My husband and I connect. We connect with the kids. Like this is our day to just be. Now, there will be times we have things we are needing to do. For example, this coming Friday, we have a wedding we're going to. That's fine. Like we're not like the Sabbath is ruined, because like going to a wedding, that wouldn't be like my choice of like Sabbath, but also like things come up. Like life is life. You're going to have a grad party. You're going to have a wedding. You're going to be invited to dinner. Some nights we will invite people on our Sabbath because like that's like over for dinner because that's rejuvenating. Also, I keep touching my hair and I'm sorry. It's just kind of bugging me today. Because that is rejuvenating. You'll have people for a game night and host them and have good food. And like, there's not like a set, this is what we have to do. But it's just a day to be. And I'm still a mom. Trevor's still a dad. But we don't talk about work. I'm not here scrubbing the floors and folding laundry and all of that. Like that can save for the other 6 days. Like God made the world in 6 days and then took a day to just be. And that's the point of Sabbath. That's why we do it. That's what our day looks like. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. And I challenge you, if it's not something you've ever thought about, like pick up the Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. Start there. Like he goes into so much about Sabbath, what it is, how to practice it. Just it's not a formula of it needs to look a certain way, it needs to be a certain way. It's a day to say, my soul is more important than productivity. I give up a day of work and give that to God to say, I know that you intended me to rest this day, so it's actually for my good that I am doing this. And it's hard sometimes. It's hard for me to not do things. It really is, and it takes practice, but like our Sabbath is the most beautiful day. I challenge you to look into it, read the book. Read the scriptures, what they say about Sabbath, and try it out. Try out a week where you say, this Saturday is our Sabbath. We are eating good food. We're resting. We're talking to the Lord more. We're praying more. We're reading our Bible more. We're reading fun books. We're going out and exploring. Like, it's not about rules. It's about connecting with the Lord and connecting with your family and your loved ones and just basking in just the beauty of life. And so I think that's all that I have. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.